Good morning, my beautiful children. You're welcome to another interesting math class. For about 2 weeks now, we'll be talking about open sentences, missing numbers. We've talked about missing numbers in addition sentences. Last week, we talked about missing numbers in subtraction sentences. Today, we are going to talk about multiplication. Right, multiplication. Now, we're going to actually talk about missing numbers in multiplication sentences. Now, what exactly is multiplication? Well, multiplication simply means a repeated addition of a certain number. So, in the multiplication sentences, two numbers are multiplied to get a larger number. You have to multiply two numbers together to get a larger number. Therefore, if one of the numbers is missing, the two numbers you're supposed to multiply, if one is missing but the second is known, to determine the unknown number, you will use the division operation to find the missing number. So you have example of 3 times box equals 12. What do? Before we find out, let's find out if there are rules to follow. As usual, there are always rules to follow in mathematical problems. Okay, they help us solve our problems easily. So here are a few rules. First rule here is master your multiplication tables. Now, you remember you always have your multiplication tables all over your classroom, and your teacher, I always encourage you to study them. Now, one of the rules here is saying you must master your multiplication tables. Okay. Number two, you divide the larger number by the number present. So in this sentence, two numbers will be given to you. One is larger than the other. So unlike the previous ones where you have to add or subtract, in this one, you in multiplication problems, you have to divide. You don't add, you don't subtract. What you do is division. So you divide. Now, after dividing, the last rule says that you must always fix in the answer to check if the sentence is correct. Now, we did this same rule in addition sentences and in subtraction sentences. So it's easy to always check now. Okay, same rule apply here. Okay, now let's move ahead to the examples. Example number 1. 3 times box equals 15. Now, what is box? So we're going to find the box. Okay, so here is my solution. Two numbers were multiplied together to get 15. One of the numbers is box. Okay, so what is in the box? Now, the second number is 3. What are you going to do? Now, the rule says divide the larger number by the second number. What is the second number? 3. And that's going to determine what's in the box. So what we're saying is box is equal to 15 divided by 3. Now, here I'm going to use 0 to represent my counting. So here I have 15 zeros counted out in groups of 3. Okay, so if you count the zeros that are there, there are 15. Now, if you divide 15 by 3, you can see I have put the zeros in groups of 3. Let's count how many groups we have there. Or you want us to count the zeros to be sure they are 15? Okay, let's go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So our zeros are actually 15. Now, if you divide that by 3, and that's why I've put them in groups of 3, let's count the groups. How many groups? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 groups. So if you divide 15 by 3, what you're getting is 5. That means box is equals to 5. Now, the last rule says we should check. So check if you multiply 3 by the box, which is now 5. Check if your answer is going to be 15. And if you actually know your multiplication tables, you will agree with me that 3 times 5 is what? Is 15. So our answer is correct. But here is a little twist. I made it a little more interesting by telling you a story and by representing it by pictures, what you would like. So here I said Mrs. Atamu is very happy today. So she came to class with 15 balloons and she decided to share the balloons equally among these 3 cuties. Now, how many balloons would each child get? So here is a bunch of 50 balloons brought to class by Mrs. Atamu because she's excited. Now, she's going to share these 3 balloons with only 3 children, as you can see, equally. Now, if you divide 15 balloons by 3 children, what will each of them get? Remember, this is the same sum we had earlier solved. So, let's count the number of balloons each of them will get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you divide 15 by 3, it remains 5. Okay, example number 2. Box times 4 equals 16. Find box. So box and 4 will multiply together to get 16. As usual, to know the actual number, you divide your larger number by the number present. And here the larger number is what? 16. So if you divide 16 by 4, what do you get? Okay, so here we have 16 zeros as counted out by me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now divide that by 4, and that's why you have groups of 4. Let's find out how many groups we have there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they are in groups of 4. Now, what this means is the box is what? 4. Now check. 4 times 4 and check out what it's going to give you. Definitely going to give you 4. Here is another beautiful story to represent the problem, that sentence that we had just done. So I said, hey kids, guess what? I have 16 badges to give away to the first 4 children to turn in their assignments today. How many badges will each child get? So what I'm promising you is at the end of today's class, and at the end of this class, if for the first 4 children to turn in the answer to this maths to the evaluation in this math class, at the end of the class, the first 4 children to turn in their assignment, I'm going to give them badges. There are 16 badges I have to give away now, and I'm going to give them to only 4 children, the first 4 to submit their assignment. Now, how many badges would a child get? So here you see 4 children and 16 badges on this side. Let's see how many badges. 1, 2, 3, 4. So each child will get 4 badges. Okay, that's a beautiful giveaway today. And guess what? It's giving away to you guys, the first 4 of you to finish my evaluation. So are you excited to see the evaluation questions? I am excited for you. So here they come. Ta-da! Okay, so my evaluation questions are quite simple, just four of them. The first one is box times 5 equals 25. Second one is 4 times box equals 36. Number 3, box times 12 equals 24. And number 4 is 3 times box equals 27. Now remember, you've got 4 badges for each person, the first 4 persons children to turn in their assignments. So what are you waiting for? Hurry up. Now it's time to say goodbye. See you next week.